Hey guys, welcome back for another fun week of ACEs. First of all, I want to say I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving break. I hope you guys ate a lot of turkey, and that most of all that you guys stayed safe and healthy. I want to say thank you to all the students who said hi to me. I got to see Carson during picture day. I got to see Marcos during some of the school days. So thank you guys for all of you who stopped to say hi to me. It really was the highlight of my day whenever you guys did that. And so yeah, you guys are the joy, and so I'm so excited that you guys that I got to meet you, some of my new ones, and then I got to see some of my past students. So let's get started with this week's project. I will tell you that we are going to be doing a lot of sciences these coming up weeks. I'm really excited because science is one of my favorite subjects. And I would love to share it with you guys. So this week we are making oobleck, and I know it's a project I did with some of the childcare kids, and we had a blast. It was a mess, but it was a blast as well, and so I'm really excited to do this with you guys here on ESIS. So the first thing we are going to look at is our brown bag, okay? So you guys will be receiving this, I believe, on Thursday. That's when our project drop-off will be, because picture day is Wednesday, and ACES is working that. So on Thursday will be your guys' project drop-offs. It'll look like this. It'll be 2 weeks, and let's see what you have inside. So you guys will have a bag of cornstarch right here. So this you'll need for today. So set this aside. You will come across a CD, which is cool. It's okay. Don't worry about it getting scratched or anything like that. We're gonna be using it for a science project, so just set this aside because that's for next week. You'll find this little white wraparound thing. You'll find that it is a DIY slap bracelet. So this is gonna be this week's DIY project. So put this aside and do this after you make it real quick, okay? So this is for today. Also, you'll find some green food coloring. That's also for today. So put that aside next to the cornstarch. You should find at least 2 random colored balloons, which is cool. So put those aside because that's going to be for our project next week, along with the CD so far. You're going to find some tacky glue bottles. It's going to look like this, okay? So also set this aside because this is for next week. You'll find a jar. You'll need this jar for today. So put this aside because it's going to be storing our oobleck. So that's for today. And then you'll find a bottle cap that looks like this. And then a wrapped nutcracker. Okay, and that's going to be our DIY project for next week. But I am super excited about this nutcracker because it is so cute. And I absolutely love them. They're adorable. So, and I love Christmas, so that's a big thing for me. But yeah, set the nutcracker, the bottle cap, the tacky glue, the balloons, and the CD all into the bag and put that in a safe place for next week, okay? So, things that you'll need that we have in our project bag today is our jar, our cornstarch that I showed you, and our green food coloring, and your DIY slap bracelet. The things that you'll need from home is a spoon, a bowl, a measuring cup, 1 cup, and a glass of water. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is measure out our water. I already measured mine out. It's gonna be using 1 cup of water, okay? So this is what the cup looks like, okay? Usually it just says the number 1 and then CUP, cup, for those of you who are not really sure. And then you are going, I put mine in a glass so I can dye it before I put it in the cornstarch. But yeah, so I already have mine already measured out 1 cup of water in a glass. And then you will need 1 cup of cornstarch. Now your guys' cornstarch is already measured out. I did that for you guys and I put them in a little baggie. So all you will have to do right now is open it up and pour it into your bowl. Again, this, like the fake snow, is super easy to make. It's more to play with, but there is some science behind this. behind this project, and that's why I chose it. And I'll explain the science of this as we get on with it. Now that we have the cornstarch in our bowl, we are gonna set that aside and take our glass of already measured water, 1 cup to be exact for a reminder, and you're gonna get your food coloring out. Now keep in mind that you are gonna need this food coloring for some other science projects in the future. So put this in your toolbox, the one that I gave to you guys in the beginning of the year. That should house all your extras from all your other projects. So I'm gonna open it up, and you're gonna find that it's sealed, so you're gonna have to unseal it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Now the food coloring color that I chose is green because I thought it was cool, and I thought oobleck is green. Like, I don't know, that's all I've ever thought about was like, if it's gonna be oobleck, it's gonna be green from Dr. Seuss. So if you ever read that book, shout out to you. That's really cool. But yeah, so and take off the seal. We're gonna add a couple drops to our water. Now it all depends on you how much green you want to put in. If you want light green, you're gonna put a little bit. If you want like a dark green, then you're gonna put in a little bit more colors, a little bit more. But all in all, it shouldn't take that much to dye it and to get a vibrant color. And you will still have a lot left over, so then again, save it, because we are gonna use it. Okay, now what's left to do after you mix your food coloring into your water is all that's left to do is pour it into your cornstarch. So then now you guys should be pouring in 1 cup of dyed green water into your cornstarch. That's measured out to 1 cup already. So it's 1 cup of water, dyed green, and 1 cup of cornstarch. And you're just gonna mix. I'm a little bit careful mixing because I don't want it to splash everywhere and make a huge mess. But yeah, you should feel whenever you're mixing that it should feel a little bit, what's it called? You should feel some resistance at first when you're mixing. And that's okay. So mine is a little bit watery, so I'm gonna add a little bit more cornstarch. Then again, it's science, so not every project is gonna be the same. Because I did 1 cup and it's watery, I'm gonna recommend you guys doing half a cup. So half of this measuring cup, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get some more cornstarch, and I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Okay guys, so I'm back. I have some cornstarch. What I'm gonna recommend is I'm gonna be putting more cornstarch into my mixture, but I'm gonna recommend you guys put less water into your mixture because your guys' cornstarch is already measured out into 1 bag. So go ahead and add that in there. I added 1 more cup, so my measurements would be 2 cups of cornstarch, 1 cup of water. Gonna mix it in, and this always happens. It's when it comes to science projects, every project and every person's project, even if it's the same thing, it's gonna turn out different. It just depends on what it is and what's going on. There you go. I'm kind of getting the consistency that I want. So I'm gonna tell you guys to start off with half a cup of water, add it in gradually, and then because the consistency I'll show you right now what I would like it to be, but yeah. So because I added 1 cup of water, it's gonna take a little bit more cornstarch than I anticipated. And that's okay. At least now we know, and you guys can do it on your own. So keep on mixing. Okay. So as you can tell, it's getting a little bit more harder to stir. So right now the consistency is a little bit goopy, but a little bit dry too. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit more water because I added in more cornstarch. And we're just gonna keep on trying to go to get that perfect consistency for you guys to see the product that I want you guys to see. Okay guys, I am back. So what you didn't see, I kind of cut to this part, is I added a little bit more water into my mixture and I got it perfect. So what I'm going to suggest for you guys is with your 1 cup of cornstarch, because it's already measured out in the bag, start with half a cup of water and gradually add it in, mix, add a little bit more of the half cup until you get kind of this consistency where it looks liquidy, but if you like touch it, it's a solid. Okay, and so that's where our science of this comes in. So oobleck is known to many people as this state of matter that's a liquid and a solid. Now, if you're wondering what I mean when I say state of matter, there are 3 states of matter. There's gas, liquid, and solids. Okay, and an example of a gas would be oxygen. An example of a liquid would be anything like fruit punch, milk, water, something like that. And then a solid could be this table, or this jar, or this box. So anything like that, okay? And so what this consistency of this little mixture, so what this mixture is made of is, it's kind of made of cornstarch and water, but the way we've made it, it's a solid and it's a liquid. So it's 2 states, and so that's why it's really famous. That's what it's really famous for. So I'm gonna ask you guys to slowly put your fingers in, lightly and gentle, okay? And you'll find that your fingers reach the bottom. Just relax them. They'll reach the bottom of your bowl of liquid. And the liquid moves around your hand if you move it around slowly. But then I want you guys to really quickly and with a little bit of force, pull out your fingers. And your fingers get stuck. You see that? And so I'm gonna ask you guys to put your fingers back in the liquid again, or the solid, whatever it is, the state of matter. Put it back into the oobleck again, but quickly and forcefully, like you did whenever you're taking them out. So do it, and look, it's harder to press in. So you pull it out again, and you go like just really hard and quickly. It turns into a solid. Now I'm gonna ask you guys to gently put your fingers in and grab some of that oobleck out of the bowl. Okay? It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel different. It's gonna feel ew and gross. But look at, if you hold it in your hand, we can make the stuff that was once a liquid, when we put it in gently, into a ball, into a solid. And that's because we're adding force. Okay? And force, the best way I can explain force to you and have it make sense is kind of like whenever you're pushing a car or you're squeezing something, you're putting force, you're putting power into whatever you're doing, you're exerting energy. And so you're exerting energy onto this state of matter by squeezing it really hard, and it's turning into a solid. But then whenever you let it go, it turns into a liquid and there's no force. So that's something super cool. Now in your guys' bags, there will be a paper with pictures of household items on it, and next to these household items there will be a question: will this item sink or will it float? And you guys are going to test that. I believe there's a penny, some dice, toothpicks, a safety pin, safety clip, a paper clip, stuff like that on there, and you're going to choose and decide. Oh, there's a toy car, I believe, and a bouncy ball, and you guys are going to decide that if you drop that object into the oobleck, will the force of it falling into the oobleck, will it turn the oobleck into a solid, or will it turn it into a liquid? And will it sink or float? Okay, and so that's your guys' little side project right there. I'm gonna be making this with you guys as I did, and so yeah, here it is. We have our oobleck. It's fun to play with. Now, once you guys are done making the oobleck, okay? Once you guys are done, don't forget to clean up the mess, okay? It is a big mess. As you can see, this is huge. Earlier, I cleaned up in between clips, and so it's a little bit less of a mess now. But what I want you to do is grab a wet paper towel, wipe it up, okay, around. Wipe up around it. Your hands are gonna be a mess, that's okay, because you're gonna need it to be a little bit of a mess to do this part. You guys have this jar. Now, I have a lot of oobleck in this bowl because I kind of had a little bit more cornstarch and water. But you guys will have enough to fit into here, okay, to fit all of it in your jar. I want you guys to get a little bit of out, and then you can store it into this jar right here, okay? So just get a little bit of out. It's super easy. Remember, you're gonna use force to keep it a solid so that you can transform it into there. And there you go, boom. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna do that again so you guys can see. So grab a little bit out. Remember, making sure you're squeezing it and adding a lot of force to it so it doesn't turn into a liquid while you're transporting it into the other jar. And then boom, into the other jar. So yeah, there you go. And once you fill it up, you can put the lid on it, store it, and call it your own. Now, whenever you take it out to play with, make sure you have mom and dad's permission and that they know you're doing it. And make sure to clean up your mess afterwards, okay? So you guys are gonna be receiving the experiment paper, and then you guys will receive the 1 cup of water and 1 cup of cornstarch recipe typed out. So you guys can have something to look at while you're making it. But yeah, this is our project for this week. Don't forget to do your DIY slap bracelet, and I will see you guys next week for more science. I hope you guys had fun with this week's science, and we'll just keep going with it, okay? Bye!